Not the sort of festive period you would have wanted. 3 points from 12.
No, not at all. Very disappointing today. We seem to just a bit of a brick wall where there's no energy in the team. The passing's not there as it was. We've seen them do it, but we just seem to have a lot of them lost a lot of confidence. But no excitement today from the team that I want to see and produce. And it's really disappointing that you look back at 1 or 2 games this season where we have done very well, and we've just hit a patch now where we it's like looking at 1 or 2 that they don't want the ball in case they make a mistake. But just we're not creating chances. The goals that we're giving away. I mean, I thought perhaps we might get a point today, and that's the worst we've played. But that wasn't to be. As soon as we got the equaliser, they've gone straight up and scored, and that was disappointing.
A lot of basic errors when they were positional and also misplaced passes. I mean, you could go on and on. Yeah, absolutely. I can't defend it today because there was nothing to take from it. And like you say, just the basic, even taking a throw in. How basic is taking a throw in a football match? And it beggars belief sometimes that you can see that happening. And it seems to be right through the side. I mean, there's nobody that can really hold their head up tonight to be brutal and say I had a good game. No, and I think we were, I think to be fair, each one of the boys have had a fair crack since I've been here. I've made it obvious that we need to obviously strengthen the team, but there's players out there that we saw that can perform that they've just disappeared. I thought Craig kept going today and was a spark, but I think when the team are playing like that, he tries to do too much, and he can run with it and then just run up dark alleys and lose the ball. But he was having a go, and that was the only thing really. But no, very dour and lifeless performance today. That was. 12 days off now. Obviously there's going to be movement, players in, players out. What is the latest on the players in and also the players out? Well, we had a couple lined up today, but the registration or the clearance didn't go through in time for Ryan Higgins to play and Josh Green, so that was a bit unfortunate. But we're looking obviously at a lot of games this week, myself and John, and talking to 1 or 2 players to bring in, and that's what we need to do. Like you said, we've got a bit of time until the next home game, so but hopefully we'll have a few new faces in for that one. Are you looking at the for a striker? As such? Yeah, I mean, I've been looking for. We've got young Kane Richards who's come from Ilkeston, who's still stepping up to this level, and he's done well to a point, but. We need to come into a side that is functioning well, and young Tom Pearce again has come on today, and he runs about, but they're still young lads learning the game, and we need them to be coming into a side that was functioning like it was early on in the season to give them lads a better chance. And but the striking position, like I think I stated earlier, and the fact that when the window was shut and the 2 lads got called back, that didn't help us. And that's not an excuse, that's a fact, because those guys were doing really well. But that's the case when they're not your players. There's a chance that they will go back. But we just need to. We need to work on a lot of things, and it's disappointing for me to move so many players or to move players out, because I always feel that if the squad's with you at the end of the season that started, then you've had a reasonable season. And this is probably the first time that I'll have, the amount of players probably that will be going. It is the first time for me, because hey, we try and get the best out of them and work with them as best as we can, but I think there comes a point where you just go, well, you've had your chance and it's not happening, and we've got to move on and get 1 or 2 in. Sometimes it's not as easy to do that because of the contracted player. So, but we'll keep working away because that's what we do. And but very disappointing with today's performance. Say there was nothing for me to get excited about. And I'm getting frustrated in that dugout watching them, and that's unlike me because I trust my players that I bring in to perform. And to be fair, to a point, they have done. If I look at the bigger picture, we're in a lot better position than we were last season. But you're only remembered for your last game that you play,
and unfortunately our two last performances have been very, very dour and poor.
Football is peaks and troughs, as we know. You don't win every game, you don't lose every game. So obviously, at some point, you're going to turn the corner, hopefully sooner than later. But it does need a fresh injection, doesn't it? And some players, are there any players you can tell us are leaving as such?
Well, I've made it. I think you know the ones who have been made available to go elsewhere and prolong their career and get playing regular football. But until we can get the replacements in, obviously they're still part of the club.
Setup.
Yeah. The other side of it is that they may not get offers to go elsewhere, and we keep them here. And I'm hoping that I think I've sat down with every single one of them and spoke to them about the futures here or not here, and the need to get regular football elsewhere. So hopefully that'll free a bit of money up for us to use to bring other new faces in.
12 days to the next game, which of course is Southport away. You're going to have a lot of thinking, I would imagine, in terms of formation, in terms of the players, because the players are going to have to gel, aren't they? Whoever comes in, whether it be Luis Suarez, whatever. I mean, we wish, but they're going to have to gel anyway. You're going to have to create a system that embraces them, isn't it? Basically.
Yes, and I think to a point, I say, if you look at some of the better performances this season, the system that we have played has worked very well for us. At the minute, players have lost confidence, and with that, it's easily to say that they look unfit and they're not getting about the park. It's the confidence side of it, the simple things of passing and moving. It's a simple game, football, but we're making it look very difficult at the minute, and a lot of. I've always said we're a side that can never get away with carrying two players who are off. We have to be 1 to 11, bang at it, and there's too many individuals' mistakes at the minute. There's maybe one or two carrying knocks that they're saying they're okay and they're not quite right, which hasn't helped us. But hey, that's one of those things. At the end of the day, they're our decisions to put them out there. But I say, for me, players and that, I put them out there, and it's then up to them then to go and perform. In the minute, we're not performing.